Welcome back to our Plan Set 8 project here in SketchUp for Schools. In our previous episode, we cleaned up our outliner panel. We cleaned up and added all of our tags, as you can see over here. This will allow us to really turn on and off things really quickly for us without having to search through that ever larger outliner panel. And so as your projects get bigger, tags become more and more important. Even with just a small little 2-bedroom house, as you can see, we have quite a bit of groups of components in our outliner panel, even though we have a lot of things grouped up already. So in this episode, we are going to continue using the Follow Me tool, and we're going to create all of our windows. These are going to be basic windows. We're just going to do the Follow Me tool all the way around. We're going to add in a single divider piece in the center, and then the rest is going to be glass. And so it doesn't really matter where you start. I'm just going to start right here in this first corner. And we need to move once we create the shape of our trim, we actually want it to be not on a corner, which is the opposite of when we did our door. And you'll see why here in a minute. But let's go ahead and take our tape measure tool, and let's go ahead and create our shape. So we're just going to do our standard 0.5. It's going to be kind of the same as your door, except for there is no little indentation. Make sure that all your lines are green or red. That way they are straight and you're not going to run into issues. From here, let's go 4 inches. That gives us this 1/2 inch right here and 3/4 or 3 inches and a half from this inside mark, which is what it would be. Let's go ahead and do the other side. Remember, you can use your keyboard shortcuts. Make sure that you constantly use those. 0.5. Let's take our rectangle tool. We want to draw this out so that we don't have as many lines as possible. So let's go create, we'll do that one, we'll do that one, and we'll do that one. I'm going to turn off the walls really quick and erase those lines. We can also erase our guides. Now what I'm going to do is take our selection tool. I'm going to triple click on our shape. Take your move tool, and we're going to move this up somewhere towards the center. It doesn't have to be in center, it's just somewhere off of this corner. The reason being is when we did our door, there was no bottom part. So we had to make it go from the start to the finish. The window is going to go all the way around. The Follow Me tool tends to mess up if you have your shape down in a corner, and it will not kind of finish all the way around like you want it to. And so it kind of looks funky looking there at the very end. So if we move it up here to the center and off of the corner, that kind of negates that issue. So in order to keep from having additional lines, let's go from here and we will manually draw in our lines. If you mess up, just Control Z and redo it. We'll go all the way around. Make sure that you go on this side as well. erase that center thing. It doesn't create a line for us there, so we don't have to worry about that part. Get your selection tool again. You can come in here and if you need to, turn off your walls after you create your lines. Hold down Shift and let's select all of our lines. And actually we need to make sure that Follow Me tool is up at the very beginning. Then come in here with your selection tool and select our lines. So we have all that selected. Click on the Follow Me tool. And click on our shape. And as you see there, it goes all the way around. I'm going to go ahead at this point, triple click on it, make sure everything's selected. We're going to make this a component. This is going to be our window 1. Let's go ahead and edit this component. Bring back our tape measure. And we want to find our midpoint. So there is that midpoint. It's that little blue turquoise kind of dot. It's at 1'4". From this point, we're going to go over to the left 1/2 inch and over to the right 1/2 inch. Our window, we can start it at around 2.5 inches, and we will have the window at 1/2 inch thick. Next, take our, let's go back into our section or tape measure. Let's do another 0.25 on each side of this. Take our rectangle tool and we'll make that box. Take our push-pull tool. Let's bring that all the way up. Let's go ahead and erase those outside lines. We can erase those. And now let's go ahead and draw in our actual window. Again, using those keyboard shortcuts, P for push-pull, R for rectangle, spacebar for your selection tool. Take your paint bucket tool, come over here, click on this icon over here. We want to go down to glass and mirrors, and this one over here on the right side is that translucent glass gray. We want to be inside of this component. Make sure that you do one side, and we need to go back over onto the other side and do the same thing for the other side. Close, go back into our component, erase anything that you need to erase. Let's go ahead and close that out. Bring back our walls. And now we want to move this window everywhere that is that same size. And this is one of those windows that is in most of the house. So let's go ahead and bring up our K. Take your move tool, find that corner piece, hit Control to make a copy, and let's start bringing these over to these other windows. Remember, you always, whenever you're moving windows or any kind of shape inside SketchUp, you always want to go from corner to corner. That's your easiest way. It snaps those corners together, and if you don't do that, it will not snap together. And even though you can eyeball it close, it's not going to be the same. Here we want to just rotate this around using that move tool. Because it's a grouper component, it already has those red X's. And again, this is your window in most of the house. I think we have 2 more of this same window. It doesn't matter much, but it is shorter on this side, so this is that you want this to be your outside. And as long as you try and kind of turn it the same all the way around, then you'll have it correct. So hit K, and that is all of those windows. We can come in here and click on that, and click on one of the windows, go in here. We've already created the window tag. So if we click on those windows, we can click on the untagged and go down and set that to window. And let's go ahead and do that all the way around. So we'll do one more together. We have a small little window there and a small little window there, and these 2 larger windows. So let's do these larger windows together, and then you can do the other 2 small ones there on your own. So here we're going to do the same thing that we did last time. Let's go to 1/2 inch. We'll do 1/2 inch there. We're going to do 4 inches from this guide. And on the inside, do our 1/2 inch. Let's take our rectangle tool and let's connect all of our dots. Because we have our tag panel up and about, I'm not extremely worried about the lines. We come in here and hide your wall real quick. Only erase the line we don't want. We can go ahead and erase our guides. Bring back the wall. We want to move. We don't want to make a copy. We just want to bring it up, making sure it sits right. Take our line tool and let's draw a line all the way around. For some reason, this one's being a little odd with the lines. And that would be why. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. So once again, just draw your lines all the way around. If you mess up, just Control Z and redo that. Erase our center box. It didn't create any kind of lines. We do need to make sure that we bring up our push-pull tool or the follow me tool. Let's go ahead and hide our windows or our walls. Hold down Shift and let's click on all of these lines. Follow me tool and click on that shape. We're going to do the same thing. Find your midpoint of this wall. It's 1'10". We're going to go over 1/2 inch, over 1/2 inch. Let's go back 2.5 inches. Do 1/2 inch and then go out 0.5 to each side of that. Hit your R key for your rectangle. Let's go ahead and draw in that center box. Push-pull tool. Let's bring this up. Hover over this face in order to inference that face and click on that. Come back over here. Let's go ahead and erase our straight lines. Take our rectangle tool and let's go ahead and draw in our 2 windows. Select your P key for your push-pull tool. Go in here, hover over that face and pull it all the way up to the top. Same thing for this one. Select your paint bucket tool. We'll go ahead and paint in the glass for both sides. Erase our guides. And let's turn this into a component and we'll do just window B. Let's bring back, let's turn our materials off. Let's go ahead and turn back on the wall. Hit K, take your move tool, find our corner, hit Control and copy it over to this other side. We hit K again, we can select our windows and set those to your current tag. So that finishes up this one. You do have the 2 little small windows that you can kind of do on your own, but this finishes up all of our doors and windows in this project. Next, we're going to go into the materials and kind of do the materials through the rest of the house, and then we'll go from there. Thank you for watching this episode. Thank you for watching this playlist. Stay tuned for more episodes on the channel and on this playlist.